ArunAnnow, who is a pretty based individual, from what I understand at least, based off of Boy Meets Minnie's testimony. And I know his main thing is he talks very often about the Tamil genocide. Makes sense. He is Tamil himself, makes a lot of sense. And he's made the three-part documentary on the Tamil genocide, where basically, from what I understand, it's just troll despair, troll despair. It's really really bad. Basically, like, listen, we all know about GHF and what Israel is doing to the emaciated Palestinians. You know where they got that idea from? Oh, it was the Tamil genocide going on in Sri Lanka. Oh, whoopsie. I guess Listen, something fascists are not very well known for their originality or something. The classic. What do we have here? Expressing his frustrations, Arun is. Trying to get other streamers to constantly talk about the Tamil genocide, mass grave discoveries, the pain watching the genocide, people be ignored over and over again. Please watch and listen.
I want you to understand the situation right now. There are still people on Twitter posting the latest updates from Ethan fucking Klein right now. Meanwhile,
he's actually so real because people are posting the latest updates from Ethan Klein. Dude, like, all I know is that something, Ela is being told, like, is being threatened to be killed by his son. I don't care. It's stupid. Listen, okay, lefties, idiots, morons, ignore Ethan. Let Ethan fucking bluster about, be stupid and dumb and fucking annoying, because if you keep talking about him, that's exactly what he wants. Listen, same fucking shit happened with Vosh. Same fucking shit happened with Hasan. Are we going to learn the lesson here? And that is to just ignore the fucking schizo freak. Let him have his, like, little schizo fucking rant and fallout and continue to fucking crash out in his fucking corner. Ignore him. Don't pay attention to him. Don't talk about him. And then guess what? Move on with your fucking life. Let him fucking crash out in the fucking corner, okay? He can go fuck himself. Just talk. You can do anything else. Literally do anything else. Don't talk about him because it's exactly what he wants. How does he make more fucking content? By, I don't know, doing like stupid 3IQ fucking drama shit, okay? Me talking about Ethan right now is undermining the point that I'm going for right now because, listen, if some like dipshit of his wants to be like, hey, look at this like cucked lefty talking about Ethan, I'm gonna send this to him so you can like crash out about it or something. If he wanted to fucking do that, he probably could, right? Like, Ethan's community is a compromised community. DGGers are going in there with the express purpose of constantly riling Ethan up in order to have him keep being a distraction, be really fucking annoying about Hasan specifically. So you just don't talk about him. You ignore him. He does not exist. Move on with your fucking life.
I am going into everyone's fucking DMs to beg them to cover a fucking mass grave containing the bodies of my fucking people. I have had to beg everyone. I have had to cry, going to everyone, trying to get some level of coverage on this. But no. The most important thing in this fucking space at any given moment is responding to the dumbass of the fucking day on Twitter. The blood of my fucking people is irrelevant.
He's just right here. Like he's totally just hidden on it. And also, hey, dumbasses who misappropriate crashing out. Okay, listen. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. This is what an actual fucking crash out looks like. But this is a crash out for good reasons. Okay, there can be crashing outs for, I don't know, like really stupid, dumb, idiotic bullshit. And also crashing out for good reasons. Because Arun is correct here. How long has the fucking Tamil genocide been going on at this point in Sri Lanka for? Like, what is it? Like, how long has it been, Boy Meets Minnie? It's been at least like 5 years or some shit. If not fucking longer or some shit. It's really fucking crazy. Dude, it's so true. No one really cares about peoples of the sub-continent Sag, let alone Africa. Multiple pogroms through the 20th century and going into this century. Oh, lovely. So it really is it's Israel Palestine too. Electric Boogaloo. Again, he's hitting the fucking nail on the head, okay? This crash out is fully fucking justified. He's fully fucking correct that he's just like, just going off on like, I don't know, every fucking dipshit who's way too terminally online. Listen, I could throw myself in here as well, okay? I don't cover probably the Tamil genocide probably as much as it needs to be covered or whatever. I tend to talk way more about Israel-Palestine because I'm more knowledgeable on that sort of like sector, I suppose. But then again, I'll give some credence to myself here. I'll be fair to myself in particular, all right? To be quite honest, I generally speaking, like if I'm going to talk about stuff that's going on with throughout the Indian subcontinent, I will more than likely want to defer to someone who has a lot more knowledge, specifically Boy Meets Mini within this community, simply due to the fact that I do not think that on my own I can do the particular topic justice. Simply because I will prefer to do my due diligence when it comes to covering topics such as this, right? So very often I will defer to Boy Meets Mini and be like, Boy Meets Mini, can you corroborate on like X, Y, or Z? Or can you join me on to do this particular thing? Because I would like to take a look into this particular thing because I don't know. I just want to gain some fucking knowledge. Knowledge, you know, that stupid dumbass with his books. But, and it's just like, I totally understand. It makes sense to me that covering H3 slop is boring. It's stupid, and that's what he wants you to do, okay? Which I think is Arun's specific point here, right? Yeah, and again, like I'm pretty much on the same boat there. Boy Meets Mini. I don't think Arun is also expecting that off the bat. It just like talk about it every now and again, kind of a deal. And he even says it right here. Yeah, we'll get to the point about it gets clicks. Boy Meets Mini. I'll bring that up. Don't worry. But yeah, it's just like, you know, like it's just really fucking annoying to me that constantly people will cover H3 slop, and I try my best to not really cover it unless there is something that is particularly egregious that needs to be fucking brought up. But more often than not, you should just not talk about him. Don't fucking talk about him. There is no point in fucking talking about him because that's what he wants. You let him have his like stupid crash out moment, all right? The only reason why he's even able to currently sustain whatever he's doing with his stupid ass show is because he does constant fucking crash outs all the fucking time. You just can't move on with his life. Just don't fucking pay attention to him. Just let him be like a weirdo, stupid freak in the corner, being like just freaking out over basically nothing. Just ignore him, move on, and don't pay attention to him. Yeah, meanwhile, most people will be like, what is a Tamil? Feels weird, man. That's true. That's true.
Event in this space. Millions of my fucking people can pile up in mass graves they have before it weighs a fucking ounce. Before it weighs a fucking ounce on any of these fucking leftist creators. Millions of my people's bodies could lie in fucking mass graves before it weighs a fucking ounce on their conscience. Ridiculous. What a fucking ridiculous space this is. The reason I'm ranting about this so much is it's not a personal thing. It is specifically the fact that this genocide that is almost identical in nature to the genocide that the Israeli government is committing against Palestinians. It is not remotely considered important enough to be even thought about. I have shown this to people.
So he's not wrong here. He's exactly correct. However, the problem, generally speaking, is with a lot of fucking leftist content creators is that there is a recognition for them, and I'm going to take the fucking Mike from PA quote, that it is an incredibly niche subject. It is more important to talk about bigger national fucking news to get coverage on stuff like that instead of like super fucking niche shit like that. Now, when I'm not parroting Mike from PA's talking point because I agree with that. I wholeheartedly disagree with that fucking talking point when he was arguing specifically with Lucid Fox. Mike from PA said that in particular because he is a grifter. For him, it is all about gaining notoriety in this space from the fact that he is, well, basically the thing that comes on before Hasan is on, right? So for people like Mike, he's being dishonest when he says stuff like that, to be quite honest. The reason why I'm bringing up this point in fucking particular is, well, the Tamil genocide, for a lot of people who do suffer from Western Eurocentric sort of Western sort of like Eurocentric particular lens of analysis, right? Because unfortunately, America is kind of the center of the world, right? They are the current fucking hegemon, and they are the thing that people are going to sort of focus more on in particular, because the whole thought process, and this is what Hasan thinks, and I do agree with Hasan on this one, is that being as someone who was born and raised within the imperial core, you know, that being the United States of America, blah blah blah, the general sort of West, blah 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 blah. You know, we know what our fucking terminology is here. He believes that it is quite important to be able to talk about and push back on a lot of the abhorrences and wretched things that, generally speaking, the imperial core is rather engaging in. For a lot of other leftist content creators, I'm specifically going to point out Mike from PA yet again. It's not about that. He doesn't really give much of a shit about that in reality. For him, it is about getting fucking clicks, right? If he could get clicks constantly talking about the Tamil genocide, he would. And he would fucking start talking about that stuff. See, I myself am not necessarily unburdened by such things, because I'm a relatively small channel. I do have a video on my fucking goddamn channel where we go over, and this is with Boy Meets Mini, where we go over a video about Rohan, where I wanted to learn more about the history of, well, the Tamils, and we go over like some of the more recent news about what's going on within Sri Lanka about the Tamil genocide. But generally speaking, I try not to fucking cover slop content as much, unless it is stuff that I find to be particularly egregious. And also, like you said, Boy Meets Mini, I think you covered slop as your whole arc about Gamergate and the lack of subjective thought. Exactly. And I try to cover it and try to sort of spin and put a particular political lens, and just, well, I also see it as something that, if we're talking about people who put out as much content as possible, and there is no fucking pushback, no matter how big a particular channel is, if you don't push back on it, it becomes normalized. There's a permission structure around it, and you should push back against all that shit as much as possible. At least that's how I think of it, right? Like, obviously, could I be covering things that are much better? Sure, yeah, absolutely. Like, I could be covering more stuff that's going on locally in Canada, except there's like generally not that much that's going on in Canada, or like Romania, but there's like really not all that much that goes on in fucking Romania. The problem is that most of the stuff that's going to gain traction and sort of be in the eyeballs, in the minds of most people, are going to be like a lot of the main things that are being pushed out by more mainstream sources, and a lot of the sort of like big ticket sort of news items. And, you know, a lot of that's going to be hijacked by a lot of the shit that's going on with, like, Trump within America, blah, 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 blah. And also, I do feel like, and I think this is the case, like, a lot of people, just maybe, and this is how I also kind of feel, and I guess it's a point that I'm reiterating, feel like it is difficult for them to talk about these particular topics without being able to do it justice. But then again, a room could just be like, well, I mean, you could just like bring it up in like a little blurb here. It doesn't have to be like anything significant. And I would also agree with that. And I'd be like, yeah, totally. Like, I am totally guilty. I have no problem with saying that I am guilty. I'm totally guilty, right? I'm trying to do what I can with the small platform that I have to, I don't know, or try to gain like some form of fucking relevance, be able to talk to bigger audiences, to talk about particular things and push back on particular narratives, because I feel like there has to be like a responsibility for as many people to do that as possible, right? It's really, really fucking difficult. The struggle I have with covering politics is, do I lead with the clickbait and then get people's eyeballs on, for example, Kashmir? And that's like the sort of bigger problem about it, is like you were saying right there, Boy Meets Mini, the environment of the media environment. Okay, say that 5 times fast. The sort of like media environment that we currently find ourselves in. Unfortunately, covering stuff that is niche, like the Tamil genocide. Yes, it's terrible to fucking say it that way, but unfortunately, it is a niche subject. Covering stuff like that consistently is, well, I don't want to say it's going to be like time consuming, but it's going to take a lot of like energy out of the things that are generally going to be bigger, broadly fucking speaking, right? And it becomes one of those things where it becomes like a whole fucking sort of balancing act where it's just like a lot of lefty content creators are going to defer to someone specifically like Arun, who has been covering this more significantly, looking into this, and say like, you should probably defer to that because I don't feel like I can do that topic in particular justice. It's a very difficult balancing act. Also, we have to think about this monetarily as well. That's also another angle. A lot of these content creators need to put food on the table, so they're going to cover things that are going to be more prominent as a result of getting those clicks, being able to talk about those things because they are relevant within the news. It's really fucking crazy, to be quite honest. And yeah, exactly, Boy Meets Me. It's crazy how a country of 1.5 billion gets next to no coverage outside of the Kashmir terror attacks and fucking tariffs. There is so much going on in that place. Exactly. But I think it's kind of like, you know, Western Euro-centrism kind of rearing its ugly head there. And also a sort of like byproduct of like, I don't know, like there's a bunch of shit that's going on there. Who the fuck knows what's going on? You know, they're just doing their thing. Who cares? Whatever kind of a deal, you know? And it's just unfortunate that this is like the sort of like position that we have to find ourselves in, where like a lot of very important topics are just going to be like not covered, not talked about at all, because there's just such a ridiculous amount of idiotic bullshit that has to always be consistently pushed back on. Oh, 1000%. Yeah, a ton of people can also like learn from that politically. 100%. Like you can totally learn a lot of things. And I've learned quite a bit from that as well, covering those topics with you, like in terms of the sports ball mentality of US politics. A lot of that is because of like stupid, like I'm really bad with fucking names, but like the specific like political action group represented by fucking Brahmins within the United States that has like cemented a lot of that sort of like a particular mentality within fucking US politics. That's 1000% the fucking case right there, you know. HHS and VHPA. Thank you, Boy Meets Me. You know me with names. I'm really, really fucking bad at that. With fucking names, I always forget. So it's difficult, right? It's a fucking whole balancing act because unfortunately, what gets clicks? Stupid slop, stupid fucking goddamn bullshit. That's the main fucking issue here. It's a media environment thing. Consequences of commodified media, blah 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 kind of a deal, right?
People, I've shown the documentary to people, and on many occasions, the Tamils just never get brought up ever again. This never gets brought up again. Not even on the front of mind. But no, we now have to continue. I'm sorry. What is more important is putting on stream the next Noah Samson video responding to a dumbass Zionist of the day. That's more important. Putting up the next fucking Bad Empanada video. I have no problem with you making these response videos. I have no problem with it. What I have a problem with is you doing all this and then coming to me and saying, sorry, I don't have time for this. The news is fucking crazy.
I do have to say, yeah, that is very, very patronizing. Like, anyone who fucking says that is fucking crazy. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't have time to cover this particular genocide because there's just so much other shit that's going on. It's like, yeah, that's not great, to be quite honest. That's pretty fucked up. You know, I have no idea who the fuck is saying that, but that is fucking crazy, dude.
That I cannot accept. The fact that you somehow simply cannot find time for this, that I can't accept. That is unacceptable. That's unacceptable to me. I'm sorry. I don't care if people take this the wrong fucking way anymore. I don't care. I have had to deal with a lot of fucking bullshit in the whole...
Since the beginning. I'm saying, why would you care? You have been alone since the beginning. We have been.
I don't care. I don't give a shit if people disinvite me or they're like, I don't want to...
Now, this is what real fucking principles look like, by the way. Without, like, this is a highly principled stance here that Arun is taking.
Associate with this guy anymore. Good. I should not have to struggle this fucking hard with people that I ideologically align with to get this issue in front of people. I should not have to do this. I should not have to do this. When I was working on that documentary, I was staring at fucking the worst war crimes for months. The worst fucking war crimes for months. I tailor-made it specifically for your audiences, that you can understand what is going on. No, but all that matters is what another political commentator or what some fucking shitter has to say about, about Israel or whatever. Like, that's all that's important. The most important thing, not only reacting to someone, not only reacting to Ethan Klein, ContraPoints, whoever the fuck else is coming out next. Not only is covering them super important, but covering everyone else's response to them is super important, apparently. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Why the fuck? Okay, listen. Okay. I'm 1000% on with Arun on this one, okay? Why do people do that, okay? Like, look at the fucking post, make the response, do the response, I don't know, banter about with, like, dipshits that fucking come up in the fucking comment section or whatever, and then move on. Like, why, like, oh man, what does Bad and Panada have to say about this? Oh man, what does fucking Noah Samson have to say about this? What does fucking, overzealots have to say about this? And I'm just like, why the fuck do people do that? Right? Like, that's really weird to me. Like, if I want to see, like, those people's opinions, well, mostly just overzealots is, Noah Samson's also okay. Fuck Bad and Panada. But if I want to see that particular response, I'm gonna just watch it privately. Like, I'm not going to react to it on stream. Why would I just do that? Like, again, I guess this is, like, the sort of, like, Vosh mentality that I have here, okay? If I agree with someone, I'm not going to fucking probably watch their videos because I'm just going to, like, sit there and just be like, yeah, what the fuck else am I supposed to say here? You know, like, yeah, I agree with this person. Huh? Oh, crazy. I know. What? Like, why would I say anything? Why would I have an argument? Why would I add in anything? Like, there's no point in doing that. It's boring to me. Like, why would you do that? Like, I'm just going to be like, it's gonna be like fucking an Asmongold react where I'm just like, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, crazy, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, two, whoa, crazy, whoa, yeah. Well, I'm 1000% on board with what Arun is saying here, 100%. Like, but again, you know, it's commodified media kind of a consequence thing here, right? Like, you know, the overall point that I've brought up constantly before. People need to fucking, unfortunately, put food on the fucking goddamn table, so they're going to do whatever they think that their audience is going to gravitate towards to, and sort of just constantly feeding the stupid feedback loop, echo chamber bullshit, whatever the fuck. And it's just like, dog, that's some fucking bullshit, right? Like, that's so fucking boring, right? You can't fucking talk about literally anything else? Really? You have to react to a fucking react in order to get some other fucking goddamn opinion on some other person that you already fucking agree with? Like, seriously? Are we for real right now, guys? Seriously. Like, a lot of people, like, a lot of fucking conservatives will incredulously bring up how left-wingers are in an echo chamber. But behavior like that makes it really difficult to make an argument against that point. Yeah, this is what we saw with Kid Notkin's fascism video yesterday. Everyone is manufacturing drama out of it. Well, yeah, 1000%, right? Like, I have not seen that video in particular. Now I'm becoming a little fundamentally fucking curious. I would like to see what some of these points that Kid Notkin brings up in order to, I don't know, justify people's manufacturing of drama here. But generally speaking, like, again, death of fucking subjectivity plays a significant role here, right? Like, a lot of people, even a lot of people on the fucking left, are wholeheartedly incapable of being able to fit in another person's shoes and get the frame of mind and frame of reference to sort of, like, understand and learn certain things, certain positions, think about the other side of the fucking argument, right? And a lot of content creators struggle very, very heavily with this. There are some that that do better on it, I would say. But when it comes to, like, certain topics or certain, like, I would say, like, probably Hasan on Ukraine. Perfect instance of death of subjectivity there. Hasan just is wholeheartedly incapable of understanding what it is like within the shoes of a Ukrainian, but will very often just do, like, oh yeah, you know, it's all just like a NATO fucking proxy war bullshit, blah 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 kind of thing. It was like, well, it's not really like that. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that, and you tend to alienate quite a few Eastern Europeans who may be like, yeah, actually, no, it's not like that. There's a lot of historical bullshit for as to why that it is. And because, again, he has to appease a particular certain Eurocentric Marxist-Leninist fucking audience that he has within his broader sort of general audience. That's the main fucking problem right there. And that is pure fucking death of subjectivity right there. Pure death of subjectivity.
Know that. That's the most important thing in this space. If it's not, and you actually care about this, you're doing a shit job of demonstrating that to me. You are doing a shit job of demonstrating that shit to me. If you think this is important enough to cover, if you think teaching your audience about the literal precursor to what we're seeing in Gaza today is important, you guys are doing a shit job of communicating that. You have done a shit job of communicating that to me, and you have done a shit job of communicating the seriousness and the gravity of this situation to your own fucking audiences.
It's unfortunate that a lot of people on the space are basically just drama perverts.
It is.
They are.
Yeah.
It is.
And well, the thing is, it's what gets clicks. It's what gets fucking clicks, unfortunately. Again, broader media commodification. That is the main thing that has made it such that drama pervertry is the main thing that gets clicks. Like, honestly, if I make a fucking Asmongold video, I'm more than likely going to get a couple hundred views out of it, okay? It's what gets clicks. It is what it is, right? This is the current media environment that we're currently in. I've talked to him many times about this issue. He knows this is why. Exactly. Like, I mean, I'm not blaming Arun for that at all. I understand that more than likely Arun fucking gets this, okay? Because I'm just deciding to fucking kind of bloviate, I suppose, for myself. But to try to add something here, because again, everything he's saying is perfectly agreeable. Because otherwise, like, I wouldn't want to watch something like this unless I felt like there was something in particular that I could add. But I think that the main problem is that whole sort of like Mike from PA fucking attitude that the Tamil genocide is an incredibly niche issue that caters to a very small audience. That whole fucking argument that he had with Lucid Fox, right? Where Lucid was fucking correct. It's like, what are you talking about? You can still cover stuff like that and still fucking diversify your content. Still cover big things and just cover the small thing every now and again. And that's totally fine. That's what I try to do as well. Like, I'll cover, like, particular news stories. Like, I'm going to talk about the fucking Canadian flight attendant strike that's going on right now, right here in fucking Ontario. Why? It's a provincial issue for me. Like, I mean, Pearson's really not that far from where I am, so I guess it's, like, relatively fucking local. Most people are not going to give a fuck about that, right? Like, they're only going to care if they're Canadian, right? Those are the only people who are going to give a shit about that. But otherwise, like, most people are not going to give a fuck about it. Like commodified fucking media. It's the environment that we in. Not only that, the Tamil genocide puts everyone in a position of having to make paradigm shifts when it comes to geopolitics and leftism. And that right there, boy meets Minnie, that's the real fucking nail on the head. A lot of stupid, dumb fucking Western fucking Marxists are wholeheartedly incapable of making these particular paradigm shifts, right? Because for them, they operate off of the lens of America bad, American diabolism, which I've talked about before, why that is an incredibly lazy political philosophy. It's so fucking lazy. It's just like, yeah, America is bad. It's a little more fucking complicated than that, okay? Listen, if you could provide me the link of all the because I know Arun has fucking done this before. Boy meets Minnie, if you could provide me the link of all of the countries that have provided material support to the fucking Sri Lankan government, because it's all of them. The Chinese, the Russians, the Americans, the Israelis, everybody. The Europeans, every motherfucker has had a hand to play within the Tamil genocide, okay? Not just in fucking the Israeli genocide of the fucking Palestinians, okay? Every motherfucker's also had a hand in that. Every motherfucker's also had a hand in the Tamil genocide. It is, as Arun says, very, very one-to-one. It is almost the fucking same. It's insane, right? Like, countries that provide material support to Sri Lanka. There's a whole list about this, and it is basically all of them. It is insane. Maybe if I were to say, Tamil, genocide, Sri Lanka. That's not how you spell Sri Lanka, idiot. The list got wiped? Okay, I figured it was from Wikipedia, because I remember I tried finding it, and it was on Wikipedia, and it's not on Wikipedia anymore? Oh, the fucking bastards in the Sri Lankan government must have done something about that. Fucking bastards. Because that was perfect. Perfectly comprehensible list. They were all there. I have no doubt. Probably if you were to like look through Arun's tweets, you could probably fucking find like the screenshot of it, right? Like, and you know, he could just like sauce it up or some shit, like whatever. I don't have it. Like, that's totally fine. But literally, every motherfucker was supporting this shit. Every motherfucker was supporting the Sri Lankan government, and it's just like, dog, like, there are no good people. Listen, I've talked about this before, because for whatever reason, a lot of dipshit Western lefties think that certain particular states are going to be better because they, I don't know, have, oh, well, they're like actually existing socialist states now. No. Categorically speaking, the existence of the fucking nation state is bad. That's why I say that a lot of these motherfuckers are not actual fucking Marxists, and they should do some fucking reading.
They're drama perverts. That's it. I am still seeing the latest
Brother,
updates
it's
from
not
fucking
going
Ethan
any-
Klein.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. This is their activism.
I'm not asking for wall-to-wall coverage of this. I'm not asking people to dedicate their entire fucking streams to this. I'm not asking that. I was just simply saying,
People should
I was
really
asking,
not talk about Ethan.
can you dedicate some time to covering this and other issues that get zero coverage? That's all I was asking from day one. But even that is too much. I have been shown time and time again that this is too much.
He's not wrong. He just is not wrong. He is correct here. This is a very justified crashing out kind of moment here that Arun is having. And the frustration makes a lot of sense. I get incredible... And even with, like, stuff like fucking Ukraine, I think, is also just as fucking frustrating. I'll be quite honest. A lot of lefties, when they fucking talk about Ukraine, do it in really, really poor ways, and they do a really fucking bad job at it. Horrible fucking job at it. Talking about, like, well, it's all just, like, America bad NATO proxy war shit, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, dog, it's so fucking stupid. Exactly, Boy Meets Me. I was just about to say, the Russians have kidnapped Ukrainian children for the express purpose of re-education. That is genocide. That is an attempt at, well, cultural displacement. It's not ethnic displacement, but cultural fucking displacement, which is genocide. It is what Russification is, which is why I say to a lot of these motherfuckers, you have some fucking history to be reading up on, because what's going on in fucking Ukraine is what Russification is being followed up on from 400 fucking years ago. And motherfucking lefties just don't want to fucking recognize any of that. And some will think like, well, actually, like, Russia's like, they can't be as fucking bad. And think that they're actually like a bulwark against American imperialism. Fucking nonsense. So I get, and in particular, as a Romanian, as an East European, I get really fucking annoyed with that. I really, really do. And I just think, like, these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about any of this shit, right? They don't care about imperialism. They would have a principled fucking stance, right? But they fucking don't. It's complete fucking bullshit. It's all just like, oh, with the, and here's where I'm going to bring in this point. It's the same shit that Caroline Kwan said. It's just like, you guys are not going to form your own fucking opinions unless your fucking streamer says something about it. And it's just like, that's not a slight on Hasan, and I agree with that. It's not a fucking slight on Hasan about that one. It's a slight on all of you motherfuckers who are incapable of critical thought. The death of education and death of fucking critical thinking as a result of the death of fucking subjectivity. That's what it all is. When I say that death of subjectivity in that fucking video, where I follow up about a lot of the fucking MLs who were initially attacking ContraPoints for her stating the 60,000 casualties on Gaza, which is what every single sort of outlet is operating off of, and that's the numbers that she decided to operate off of. That is also what death of fucking subjectivity looks like. 1,000 fucking %. Then, of course, the stupid post happened with the Reddit post. the whole shitstorm happened, shebang, shebang, shablong, yeah, whatever. Like, that played out as it played out. That happened after. I still believe that the fucking points that I brought up about death of fucking subjectivity in that particular instance stand to this fucking day, right? And initially, during that fucking post, Contra did nothing wrong. It's just the lefties are incapable of subjective thinking, just like a lot of right-wingers do. And that's because I don't think Marxists, Leninists, and MLs are on the left. They are conservative. Simply put, there is no fucking difference between a lot of the things and behaviors that conservatives engage in as most modern-day Western Marxist fucking Leninists. They are one in the same. So, again, wholeheartedly, 1000%, I am in concordance with Arun's position. The frustration is felt. I understand what it fucking feels like. I have talked about certain issues in pertinence to sort of like Ukraine and sort of the actions of the Russians. But none of these motherfuckers give a shit about any of that stuff. And it's almost all about just complete slop, engaging with commodified sort of like media trends for the sake of just engaging with them. And it's not about having any actual fucking principles with these people. It's all fucking lunch table politics bullshit and never about walking on the road of the righteous and of justice. None of these people fucking care about any of that stuff. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that.